it is a lifestyle that's not about normalcy. I will go as far as to say that while there's nothing wrong with recovery, I feel that it is outdated for today's man. Good morning, brothers. Today we're going to be talking about one more difference between recovery from pornography addiction and rebooting from pornography addiction. A lot of men hear me use the word rebooting, and I think there's an assumption that this is a play on words or even an outright changing of the word recovery. And they're like, oh, he's trying to do it for branding purposes, but it probably means the same thing as recovery. But it isn't. And this is an important difference because it could mean ending your out of control behavior with pornography within 1.5 to 2 years and living with it for the rest of your life and struggling with it. So the difference we're going to speak about today has to do with homeostasis. But before that, if you're new to the channel, I'm JK Emezi. I'm the founder of Elevated Recovery, and I'm the head coach at the Porn Reboot Coaching Systems. This is Porn Reboot Coach in the Porsche. And what we do at Porn Reboot Systems is we help ambitious, high-performing professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs end their secret out-of-control behavior with pornography, sex, and masturbation discreetly. And I usually shoot these videos on my way back from the gym, which is why I'm dressed the way I am. You know, I was in a training yesterday, and those are people who are in the rehab industry, and somebody described recovery as a return to homeostasis, a return to normalcy. Because obviously, when you are engaged in your addictive behavior with sex or pornography, there's nothing normal about what you're doing. It is not normal to every single time you experience a strong emotion while you're working at your desk to immediately jump to YouTube, which leads to Instagram or Twitter or the news, which then leads to something sexual, and do that every single time you experience stress. That's not normal. It is not normal to, at the end of a long day, come back and the first thing you do is veg out in front of the television and pull your dick out after a while because you're just like, oh, you know, I need some stimuli. It is not normal to have an argument with your wife or get into a back and forth with somebody that doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with strong emotions, but immediately bring up a lot of strong emotions, cycle through them, and feel the need to view the picture of a woman in a bikini in order for you to feel better about yourself. None of that stuff is normal. But this person described it as a return to normalcy. And everybody in this training was like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good definition. Now, I didn't speak up because this training was late at night and I was there to be humble and learn. So I'll learn from some of the best, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that they have to say. So they described it as a return to homeostasis, but there's only one problem with returning to homeostasis. Homeostasis in today's day and age, which is normalcy, is not even healthy, right? The way homeostasis was originally defined did not account for the internet, TV, 1,001 distractions, our modern diet, and our modern lifestyle. It was described as a return to normalcy of being a human being without so much technology. The type of technology right now that overstimulates us. So when you think about recovery traditionally, which is recovering that which you lost to your addiction, a lot of people go like, well, I think I'm going to be returning to a happy relationship, health, eating healthy food, using, healthy coping mechanisms when I am feeling stressed out or when I experience strong emotions. That's what you think, but you haven't actually taken the time to conceptualize it. You really don't even know what it's like to experience that. Why? Because it isn't what it is. It's just not there. Normalcy today is sitting in front of your computer and watching YouTube for hours. Normalcy today is not going to the gym. Normalcy today is hitting the snooze button. Normalcy today is working for a regular paycheck and not challenging yourself mentally or financially. Normalcy today is listening to a podcast or a quick bite of information as opposed to actually reading a book. Normalcy today is not getting in a relationship or getting with the first person that shows interest in you and then convincing yourself that you're going to marry this person and live happily ever after. Normalcy today is eating junk food. That's really what it is. Normalcy today is not challenging yourself and believing that people who go to the gym 5 or 6 times a week, who eat clean, who do not engage in a lot of spectator activities like watching television and following sports obsessively, that those people are a little bit weird. Unfortunately, that's what normalcy is today. And so when you recover, unfortunately, those are the things that you recover. Now, for some guys are just happy with that. Some guys are like, well, you know what? I'd be happy to just not masturbate and do pornography, JK. And I don't care what my life is like. I'd be happy to be able to just go to a regular job, make a regular paycheck, work 30 or even less hours a week, have a nice place to live in, a decent place to live in, a roof over my head, have a woman in my life. Dude, I don't even care. I just want the companionship at this point. I'm not aiming for anything higher. I don't care about the gym. If I do like 10 minutes of some push-ups and sit-ups every morning, I'm happy with that. I'm even struggling to describe what a normal life is like because I haven't lived one for so long. But some guys are happy with that. And if you are, you're not going to resonate with what we do here at Porn Reboot. There's a reason why we have a very, very narrow audience, because at some point, even the guys who are just like, man, everything JK is saying makes sense, even those guys who've been following for years, at a certain point they go like, man, fuck, this shit is hard. And they will succumb to the person who tells you the things you want to hear, who tells you that, nah, it's okay to have a regular life, right? And again, the truth is, it really is okay. This is just a channel for men who are rebooting. Men who deep within them desired so much more. They didn't want an average relationship. They didn't want an average financial status. They didn't want to have a lot of body fat. They didn't want to be stagnant. They wanted to live an adventurous life. They wanted to push themselves. They wanted to learn new languages. They wanted to learn new skills. They wanted to expand their intellect. They wanted to have relationships maybe with multiple women. Or if they were with one woman, they wanted it to be a beautiful woman, or they wanted it to be a woman who they experienced a really deep connection with, whom they were excited to be with every day, or at the very least excited to work on that relationship with together. They wanted jobs, careers, or businesses that constantly challenged them, that pushed them forward mentally and physically. They wanted a deep spiritual life. They wanted to explore the universe and understand, or come to some sort of understanding of who am I and why am I here. This may sound nice to you, but most men are not ready for that. And if you are in recovery, chances are you're not going to strive to hit all those things. You're only going to strive for maybe one or two, and you're going to do it in a half-assed way because you are recovering. And one of the unspoken rules of traditional recovery is that, unspoken rule, is that if you reach too high up, if you push yourself too much, what's going to happen? You are going to relapse. So understand this, gentlemen. That definition that everybody was nodding their head to in that training I was in yesterday, that recovery is a return to homeostasis, to normal. Don't just nod your head next time you say that. Understand that we, as human beings today, this century, we do not live the way we are supposed to live. We do not live a normal life. We are overweight. We are pumped full of chemicals. Our brains are pumped full of all sorts of propaganda. We are not living optimal relationships. We are constantly distracted. We are mentally and spiritually broke. And you have to work against this. And that's what rebooting is about. It is a lifestyle that's not about normalcy. I will go as far as to say that while there's nothing wrong with recovery, I feel that it is outdated for today's man. I truly feel that it is. And that's all I got to say about it, because my day has got to start. I'm JK, your brother in the struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. As usual, I'd really love to hear from you guys in the comment sections. The truth is, we're shadow banned, guys. So this channel doesn't grow unless you share it somewhere with somebody. We just ain't growing. It just doesn't matter what I put. We are officially shadow banned. And that's okay, because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to start another fucking channel. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm going to keep speaking my message, because the right people will be attracted to it. But drop something in the comments. I love to communicate and have back and forth with you guys. Let's do it, all right? Appreciate you guys. Talk to you later.